Hello friends, today we will going to discuss about some of the rural developmental programs which has been taken up by the government of India and some of the state government before independence, and this is an effort as a first step in achieving the development of the nation. So many programs have come from the government, British government, and also from the state governmental effort that has resulted in achieving some development in the rural area, in turn in a national development before getting the independence. Now we will see some of the major programs with respect to it. The first program is Sriniketan project. This Sriniketan project was initiated by Rabindranath Tagore during 1908. He established one institution called Rural Reconstruction Institution at Sriniketan. See, in 1908, the initiation has been taken up for this project where he felt that I have to do something to empower the people in the rural area such that he can able to bring the socio-economic status of the people in that the West Bengal region. So for that, he started that Rural Reconstruction Institute in 1908 with the help of the youths, and he covered the group of 8 villages. So he used those youth as a volunteers in carrying out the developmental activities in that. Here, the major area covered are the 8 villages were under his Zamindari villages, which is coming under Kaligrama Parangana. So here he has started his work, and his main aim of starting this project is all-round development of rural people. The Sriniketan project, the name was given in 1921, and in actual sense, this program was started in 1921, and for this, the foundation was laid by this Rural Reconstruction Institute in 1908. The major objective of this project is to develop the cottage industries in the rural area. These cottage industries will help the rural people to take up some self-employment that in turn help them to get a better socio-economic returns or the profit for their livelihood. And it helps in developing a new scientific method of farming. See, the people are following the primitive way of cultivation. So he has established that institution where people were trained to take up some new or modern method of cultivation such that they can get a better yield and better returns out of it. And the development of cattle, because dairy is one of the major subsidiary activity in the rural area. So he started the developmental activities in cattle cultivation or cattle activities, and development of multi-purpose primary level education. Whatever may be the development, maybe in the field of agriculture or maybe in the field of poultry or in a cottage industries or in a dairy, the basic thing is they must have a minimum education to understand the things. For that, he started some the multi-purpose primary level education, where it is not related with our formal type of education, but here they used to give education with respect to all the things: dairy, poultry, cottage industry, self-employment, all those things. That is, multi-purpose activities were taught in this educational institution. And he helped to develop the self-help initiatives and rural leadership activities. That means he helped the people to realize that they can help themselves by acquiring the vocational skills, and along with that, he helped the people to have the rural leadership skill. The major activities carried out under this program is, the first thing is sanitation in the village. The health is a wealth in that period. So to have a healthy environment, the first activity they taken up is the sanitation. And the next one is adult education. As I told, to implement any developmental activities or to encourage the people to take some developmental activities, minimum education was very, very essential. For that, they took up this, the adult education. And they started arranging campaign for eradication of this health hazardous due to malaria, TB, and other infectious diseases. And they used to give more importance for using of pure drinking water. So they are given importance in their activities, and they are to manage savings for famine and flood, because West Bengal is a coastal area where they used to experience both, that is famine, and one more thing is a flood. So during famine and during flood, they must sustain their livelihood. For that, they must have some savings. So they are provided, or they given some of the activities where they can go for the savings in a bank or through some group approaches or through some other activities. And the next is for the self-employment to earn their livelihood. They have provided skills in some of the vocational activities or some cottage industries. And they also maintained a demonstration farm with respect to dairy, poultry, and also they have started some outdoor clinics and Department of Cottage Industries and Village School. See, whatever the objective was there, to carry out those objectives, they started their own infrastructure, their own settings through which they can carry out the work. And whatever the agencies they started, they used to treat these villages as their laboratories, and they used to identify the major problems in the group of villages they have selected, that is 8 villages, and they used to put their ideas or bring their intervention as a means of experiment and to get and to achieve the success in that. And this here, the villagers were expected to approach the agencies through the village workers. Here in the village, as I told, they involve some of the youths and they act as a bridge between these agencies or their institution, and they can contact these agencies for the help with respect to dairy, poultry, or with respect to health care, education, to take up a self-employment. Through that village workers, they can approach the agencies and get the information and get the facilities out of it. And major objectives are the methods they followed to achieve these objectives is they started creating a self-help, the spirit of self-help. That means that nobody is coming for helping us or nobody is there to help us in a difficult situation. So they created a spirit among the people that they should help themselves in a critical situation. And for that, they developed the village leadership. Somebody should take a leadership. So they selected some of the youths and they created a leadership quality among them, and they act as a bridge to get the facilities so that they can realize that they can do something and earn their livelihood during critical situation. To carry out these activities, they started the village scout called Brati Balika. These Brati Balika are the group of volunteers, or it is called as a village scout. They used to involve in all the activities which are carried out to achieve the objectives of Sriniketan project. Even though it is so successful and they are having a very good thought of improving the socio-economic and health status of the people through self-help, it is having certain drawbacks. That is, this institute could not get government help and support. To carry out those activities, the financial support and the administrative support has not came from the government side. And it could not do research work, hence the program remained limited to these 8 villages only. That means whatever the test they have done is with this group of 8 villages, rather than they could not able to extend it to other villages. And to carry out these activities are how the method of work has carried out under this Sriniketan project is they have done a survey to select the villages, and they have started the social welfare centers in each villages, and they manage the medicines which is available to the rural people at proper time, and they have established the demonstration plots to improve the practices, and they started the community centers. In these 8 villages, they could able to achieve certain extent the success mainly due to these works. That is, based on the needs of the people, they started these social welfare centers. They given medicines in time for taking care of their health, and they started demonstrating for improved agricultural practices, and they have gathered the people together and they created a spirit that they can help each other. Our self-help is very essential. And the next important program in the pre-independence era is Gurgaon experiment, which was started by Mr. F.L. Brian in Gurgaon district of Punjab in 1920. See here, F.L. Brian was appointed as a commissioner of Gurgaon district in Punjab in 1920. And when he visited that village, so he thought that I should do some work for upliftment of this rural area by taking up some programs or some developmental activities in that. So the major objective of this Gurgaon experiment was to increase the agricultural production. Because the activities are the major income generating work which was carried out at that time in the rural area was agriculture. So he gave more importance for increasing the agriculture production by adopting the improved technologies or in-time operations. And next is to stop the wastage of money on social and religious function. As we Indians are very traditional and we used to be believe in that supernatural power, and we always do everything honestly to have that satisfaction that we have fulfilled the requirement or we satisfied our god. So we used to spend a lot of money on religious and that social functions, maybe marriage, maybe engagement, maybe naming ceremony, all those things. So he want to stop that wastage of money in that because they are from the Western culture. And the next one is to improve the health standard of the people. And next is to carry out some of the welfare programs in the rural areas. So for that, he has taken up some of the work. The area of his work was on health improvement. As his main objective is to improve their health standards, so he started working on health improvement, agricultural development and increasing the food production, village sanitation. In turn, it helps in developing their better health status. Social improvement means they created awareness or gave an exposure to the people that how the life will be, how it has to be carried out, and what is the importance in spending the money and how they could be able to save that. And they have given more emphasis on women education because children are educated primarily by the mother. So they thought that woman has to be educated such that she could be able to take care or manage the family and expenditure of the family. And they started organizing the cooperative societies because they thought that a single person cannot carry out the welfare work. So through cooperatives, they can take up the welfare work and it could reach to the large number of people. The method of work they carried out is to educate the people or to create an awareness among the people. They started doing drama, music, and they molded the human thoughts. And the village guides were appointed to express the program to help the rural people. These village guides used to work with the village people and they used to create the awareness and help them to adopt all those things which they want to do through this program. And the teachers of village schools were used to teach the village people about the importance of this program and what is the dignity of labor in the village was done through this program. And the short, but even though they have put lot of effort in achieving the rural welfare, it is having a certain shortcoming. The one of the major shortcoming of this program is it is a one-man show because F.L. Bryan was a commissioner and he has started that program. Once he got transferred, that program has stopped. So it has become a one-man show and he used to take all the decisions about what are the work to be done. Village guides were unexperienced and untrained. That means they have appointed the village guide not on skill and based on the capacity they are having. Simply they selected one person from the village who could not able to fulfill the requirement based on this program. No comprehensive planning. There is no collective planning. It is done by the one man that may not be needed by the people. So it failed. No continuity in work because he is the only person handling. Once he got changed, nobody was there to carry out the work. And it was also limited to few villages. And it was there was a forced persuading the people about the savings or education or for welfare was not done very effectively or efficiently. So the program could not able to achieve the success what it was expected. And the third project was Marthandam project, which was started in 1928 by Dr. Spencer Hatch in association with Young Men's Christian Association, which was set up a project in 1921 at Marthandam. The Marthandam is a village. It is a densely populated village in Kerala state. It is located in South Travancore. And this Marthandam area is surrounded by 40 villages, which is having about 5-kilometer radius. Why he selected this Marthandam? When the Spencer Hatch was appointed as for that area, he thought when he see that place, here the people were very poor and they were having the land which were waste or could not able to use for the economic cultivation. and there were only a few cottage industries, so the employment opportunity was very less. The quality of the produce was very poor, so they never used to get the profit as it was expected in the open market. And it was wages were very low because they used to have a huge labor force because of less employment opportunity. There was too much water problem, and large number of families were indebted because of huge or high rate of interest, that is 300% interest was there. For example, if you take 1,000 rupees loan, they used to pay interest of 3,000 rupees per annum as a means of interest rather than paying the principal. By seeing all these things, the Spencer Hatch had made an agreement with YMCA, that is Young Men's Christian Association, as a project, and he started this Marthandam project in that Travancore. The main purpose of this project is the overall development or complete upliftment of the people in a rural area, that especially in the Marthandam area, towards a more complete and meaningful life of people. For that, they gave more importance for this threefold development of the people, as it was a basic concept of YMCA, that is Young Men's Christian Association, that involves the spirit, mind, and body. They used to give more importance for this threefold development, that is spirit, mind, and a body. But Spencer Hatch has given more importance for fivefold development of the people. Along with these three, the first one is the physical development, that is with respect to the body, and the next one is mental development, that is with respect to the spirit, and the next one is social development. The social development is nothing but they should live in a society or a community in harmony, and they work together, help together to move in a cooperative that he wants to develop. And the next one is spiritual development, and the next one is the economic development. See here, physical development, mental development, and spiritual development is the basic concept of YMCA. Along with these three, the Spencer Hatch has added the two important aspects to achieve the fivefold development, that is social and economic development. See, without money, people cannot achieve all these three things. So he thought that the money is also important, and the living together in a society or a community in a cooperation is also essential for the development of a rural area. Based on that, this program was having an objective of self-help and cooperation, and they started the demonstration centers to educate the farmers how the agriculture could be improved, and they started a voluntary association. That means whenever they want to start a self-help concept, there should be a voluntary participation, or voluntary group was there. So they made this as an objective that whenever they want to make a group, it should be of voluntary nature. And the helping the people to help in their own work, that is self-help. They want to create a spirit of self-help. And they started some of the activities in that area, and these activities are supervised by extension secretary. He was appointed to look after all those activities. Some of the activities carried out under this program was poultry sector, poultry, bull and goat rearing, cultivation of the vegetables and field crops with the improved methods, beekeeping, cattle industries, weaving industries. Improved equipments were kept in a particular area, like extraction of bee, or maybe the puddler, maybe improved cultivation machineries. All these things were kept, and they taught the vocational employment skills. That means the vocational employment skills made them to take up some self-employment to get the minimum earnings to live their livelihood. And the method of work they carried out under this program is they bring out the saving habit in the people. They opened an account in a bank through this group approaches, and they started this saving habit. The membership which were made in a group were always voluntary. As I told, the main objective of program is for the voluntary association. And here they appointed some village guide, and these village guide used to stay in the village to guide them for a few days and in their condition, and they used to teach the people how they have to carry out their cooperatives or work together. And for recreation or to education through recreation, they use the rural dramas or the drama as a technique. Poultry and beekeeping programs were launched, and they carried out some of the tour to educate them to see what is going on in other area. They established some camps, exhibitions, and melas were organized to improve their awareness about the other things or improve technologies which could help them to take up some activities to earn the livelihood. The achievement of this program is they could able to establish a egg selling club which was established in 19 previously, and in 1939 it became a self-governing body. That is nothing but through cooperative approach they started this, and this has become one big name or a sector they used to run by themselves. Like that they could able to establish honey club, bull clubs, and weaver clubs. And the next shortcoming of this program, even though they could able to achieve this, is inadequate fund and governmental help. They could not able to get here also the fund and the help. The activities are mainly organized in the Marthandam village. They could not able to extend other village because of shortage of money. And here, those the village workers were appointed were not staying in the villages, because the major thing they want to do in this is the east village worker has to stay in the village for a few days until they get the sustainability or the self awareness, then they should move to other villages. But here it was not happened. They could not able to make them to stay in the villages. And the next one is religious bias of the institution, because this program was started with Young Man's Christian Association. Every people thought that it is a Christian association work, they want to convert us, so the people were reluctant to participate and get the benefit out of this program. And the next program was Firqa Development Program, which was started in 1946. This program was started by Madras government in 1946. The person responsible for starting this program is T. Prakasa. He started this program in 1946. Main aim is to attain that Gandhian principle of village Swaraj. That means the beautiful village, the developed village, what he used to see, the dream of a Gandhi as an ideal village. Based on that, this program was started. This scheme was launched in 1946 in 34 firqas throughout the state. The firqas in our area is called as a hobli. They have selected the 34 hoblis. In Tamil Nadu, it is called as a firqas. And in April 1950, it was extended to another 50 additional firqas at the rate of 2 firqas per each district. From each district, they selected 2 hoblis. Like that, they selected 84 hoblis are the firqas for this program. And these firqas were selected on the criteria that there should be some economical background. One is the economically background, or they should have a very poor situation in their village. And second one is they must have a potentiality to implement some developmental activities in that village. The main working pattern, how they used to carry out the work under this program is at the district level, the collector was head. And these collector, they used to select the firqa, and these firqas are classified into group of 5 to 10 groups of villages. A hobli used to have more than 30 or 35 villages. So what they have done is the villages coming under each firqa, they are grouped into 5 to 10 villages. And for these 5 to 10 villages, they nominated one Grama Sevaks. These Grama Sevaks used to carry out the work in those group of villages. And each firqa or group of villages has provided with some additional staff to carry out some of the specialized work like agricultural field man, administrative officers, PWD worker, supervisors, and minor irrigation people to look after all the developmental activities. But this is about the firqa level or at a district level. When it comes to a state level, they used to have a state rural welfare board, which is at the state level. And this board is consisting of all the heads from the developmental departments. And along with that, they used to consist of influential and constructive social worker who are having a very good effort, or they are having a very good potential in motivating the people or helping the people to take up the developmental activities in these villages or to achieve the ideal village, the dream. The priority area of the work or the objective of the work is mainly for the rural reconstruction facilities, providing the drinking water facilities, sanitation, and to start the khadi and other village industries. Here also, they have given more importance for the health and also for developing a socio-economic status of the people. The objectives of this Firka development program is to tackle the rural problem as a whole. When you take a village, we are not considering only one or two villages. They have considered as a pilot in a state 84 hoblis, and in that they took all together as a village and consider the problem. And they are to carry out the work, they decentralize the power. That means they are given more importance for formulation of village panchayats and organizing the cooperatives, because the people know better what is their problem. If they know very well the problem, then they could able to carry out the, they can take up the control measures or curative measures very efficiently and effectively. For that they started this panchayats, and all has to work together for the development. They started these cooperatives and long-term plans to make the area self-sufficient through agricultural irrigation and livestock improvement. As a long-term plan, they gave more importance for agriculture and allied activities. And for the employment opportunities, they gave encouragement for starting off khadi and cottage industries. These are the major objectives of this program. But even though they have covered so many areas and with so many developmental activities, all these early extension efforts made by different people had some shortcomings. The first shortcoming is most of the efforts were based on individual initiatives. Here, the individual person has taken the initiative, his brain, his effort, his plan. So that's why it could not be continued and it could not be extended to other area. The government backing and financial support was not there in all the programs. And whatever the attempts were made were isolated, uneven, and discontinuous. As I told that, restricted to 8 villages or the group of villages based on the facilities available. So it is isolated and it is run by a one man. If he goes, it has become discontinuous. Nobody was there to carry out. And who are the staff appointed, maybe village guide or the rural workers, extension workers, they are untrained, inexperienced. They could not able to perform to the expected level. Plans and programs were ill-defined and unbalanced. There were not proper planning was there, and they have not conducted any evaluation to know what are the shortcomings and how it could be improved. The association and coordination with other developmental departments were very poor or limited. Involvement of the local people in planning and execution were very limited, so we could not able to carry out need based, and the cooperation was not came from the people, so it leads to the failure of many early developmental extension works. See, lot of programs has come other than this also. So many programs has come, Gandhian Sevagram movement, and so many, the conference, the economic conference of Mysore and all has come. Every program is mainly given concentration on improving the rural life in terms of social and economic, and the importance was given on health, employment, income generation, everything. But the thing is, all the programs could not able to achieve to the extent possible, mainly due to it is a one-man show. And there was no collective effort, and the planning and execution was failed. I hope you got how these programs have helped to some extent in achieving the development. And thank you so much.